Hi everyone, welcome back to Abstract Medicine. My name is Kristalina Fischetti. I'm an artist, I am a healer, and I do have a podcast. So it's 17:17 on the timer right now, so 17:17 could be very significant. Now this is going to be a love reading because I feel energetically you're asking me like, Kristalina, what's going on in love? And this summer solstice, it's a very special day. It's a very special portal day. It's about a reflection of the last 6 months and then, what's going to happen in the next 6 months because we're at the halfway gateway point. I do see that the two cards that came out already are the Ace of Wands and we have the Four of Wands. So I see that some of you have been trying to get out of a situation that may have been making you feel a bit stuck, possibly stuck around the home, or stuck in your mind space. Some of you may be in a relationship with someone who you thought would be the long term, and maybe this was a relationship that ended up in marriage and ended up teaching you something more about yourself, as it always does. All relationships are about relating to each other, about self and source, ultimately, if you're awake and aware, and not just kind of being programmed and led by a particular cult, culture, religious or program or doctrine. I'm feeling some heart strain around my chest. So it's not me, it's how I've received the information. So I see that you have felt a bit of anxiety about really pushing yourself forward, propelling yourself, much like the last reading. It's about forgiveness of pain and holding on to something that was from your childhood or from your past that may have been very affecting in a negative way. You are allowing yourself to forgive yourself from holding on and to hold on to these burdens for so long without asking for help, essentially, or even vocalizing it in order to sometimes we hold stuff in so that we don't say it out loud for fear of it being real. Like, there are certain things that happen in our life that are very traumatizing, and we don't say it out loud, or we don't ask for help, we don't seek advice or guidance or support because we are scared, should we do so, it ends up being real. So we don't say it, and so therefore if we don't say it, then it's not a real event, it's not a real experience, it's not a real traumatizing situation that we're going through. And I think that this is part of you isolating certain parts of your mind in order to self-protect. What I'm seeing here with the Ace of Wands is that you are going to get the drive within the next 6 months to move away from a particular relationship where you've moved in with someone. This is something that is more like financial and more stable and more concrete. But I feel like you are still a bit hesitant, or you may have been hesitant for quite some time. And I think that part of it is that you've tried to control a tower moment. You've been trying to control a situation in your life that ends up in disaster, or that reflects badly on you, and you're seen as a failure in that marriage, or you're seen as a failure in that relationship. And you're not a failure in anything unless you don't find the courage and success within, but also outward. People around you are a direct reflection of who you are. So make sure that you're choosing wisely with whom you associate, in all aspects of your life. And you can't control certain things. You can't control how things are always going to play out. Marriages are going to play out. And I feel that certain relationships in your life have served their purpose for you in order to show you the way, to help you understand something more about you. Either that you deserve better, either that you deserve something a bit more fulfilling. Maybe you're in a relationship that is quite boring, and I'm sorry, but like, there are certain relationships that I've seen where a lot of people play small, or they and these are private clients of mine, and I help guide them out of that mindset, is because they have been dimming their light in order to fit in, which means that they don't want to be an individual. They don't want to think independently. They don't want to see outside of the program. For some, it could be a cultural programming where you're in an arranged marriage or something like that, or you're in a situation where your family or your friends or society tells you that you've got to have this kind of life, and we've all been victim to that of some degree. And I think that now you're having some sort of self-realization moment, you're having an awakening moment where you're becoming a bit more sovereign, which means that you're realizing that, hang on, I thought this would make me happy. I thought this would be something that would be long lasting. And I think that for a lot of you, you are aware and you understand and you know and understand that the situation that you are in has served its purpose and has come to the end of its course. And that's something that you get to accept. And you can't bargain that away with God. You can't bargain that with sacrificing, at least in this lifetime, your happiness and your purpose and the real actual person that you get to be with. Because when you're in a situation with someone who, by the way, I am clairvoyant, clairsentient, claircognizant, and all the clairs, and messages come to me not only with the cards. I am incredibly psychic, so they come to me in my physical, emotional, intuitive, and also of course with the cards. I hear, I see, I feel, I taste all the messages, okay? And I also scry. There is a card that's coming through here and I will see it in a second, but I will say that you understand now that you can't be playing small anymore. Because I think that this lifetime you're realizing that I'm seeing your astrological chart and it's your North Node that is telling you to go towards that North Star. It's your North Node in your astrology that will hint, if you look at your astrology, your date of birth, your place of birth and all of that, see where your North Node is, and the North Node will tell you, for those of you who resonate with this reading, will tell you where you need to be going. And you're realizing that in this lifetime, a lot of you are waking up for the first time. That's why you're here on my Abstract Medicine YouTube channel or on my Abstract Medicine TikTok channel, or you're part of the Abstract Medicine Collective, or you are inspired by my art or something like that. It's because I'm a reflection of you, and I have been in many situations that have been very difficult and detrimental and all of these things, but I have died and risen again. I've died and risen again. That's resurrection, that's self-sacrifice, that's learning, that's reprogramming, that's spiraling in and spiraling outwards, out of a sense of old self into a sense of new self, and closing out karmic cycles. And the reason why I do what I do here and in private sessions is so that I can show you the gateway that you can also do yourself. But I can't just be teaching. You've got to also be doing the work, of course, naturally. And I'm always learning. I'm also a flawed being myself. I'm not here to say I'm perfect in any way. But we have here Aletheia. So I see that you exactly in this lifetime you're learning that you need to get away from an old way of being into a new way of being. And some of you are really turning the tide and shifting the tide. A lot of you are going to be cancelling out karmic debt in a big way from many, many lifetimes. For some of you, this is your first lifetime that you're actually becoming spiritual, like you're becoming more self-realized. Self-realized is a word that's coming through very, very strongly in the collective. You're understanding that there is a yin and a yang, a polarity. You're understanding the law of opposites in the universe as well. And you're understanding you want to be the opposite of what you used to be into a better, brighter, more empowered version of who you are. A more beautiful version of who you are with the rose too. So claim it down in the comments if this resonates for you.